Hello. Thank you for calling the urgent care hotline. I understand you need to speak to someone immediately. What seems to be the critical problem today?
Yes. Hi, good evening. I am currently afflicted by an alarming neurological incident. I am experiencing an acute cranial distress of significant magnitude,
Okay.
and and furthermore, my internal biosystems are exhibiting signs of considerable visceral turbulence, and I suspect a complete homeostatic collapse.
Whoa, wait, time out. Hold on a second.
What?
I'm trying to figure out if I need to call an ambulance or if you just, I don't know, had a spicy taco.
I was trying to communicate the severity.
Acute cranial distress. Visceral
I
turbulence.
wanted to sound professional, like a patient they would take seriously. I looked up the most formal medical terms I could find.
For what? A bad headache and a stomach ache.
Yes. If I sound like I know the complicated words, they'll prioritize my case, right?
Wrong. So wrong. You just accidentally minimized your own crisis.
Minimized it. How?
By using these, vague, overly academic phrases, you turned what might have been a genuine emergency into something that sounds like exaggerated poetry. You
Oh.
just wasted critical time and completely confused the person who's trying to help you.
Oh, this is genuinely embarrassing. I felt so smart for 30 seconds, but now I realize I just sounded like a bad robot.
The moment you said homeostatic collapse, the nurse probably filed you under mild anxiety.
Oh, no.
And look, this is a completely common trap for anyone learning English, especially when the stakes are high.
It definitely raises the stress level when you can't get the words out right.
It absolutely does, and we are here to fix that. Welcome back to English Unlimited Podcast.
The place where we take these complex, high-stakes situations
Like talking about your own health.
and teach you the simple, functional English you actually need to succeed.
I'm Charlie.
And I'm Jamie, your chaos agent, and proof that trying to use overly fancy English can be truly painful, literally.
That is so right. And our mission in this deep dive is, well, it's crucial.
What are we doing?
We are going to teach you the essential, functional, and honestly, potentially life-saving English for talking about your health.
Okay, I need this.
We're going to give you the clarity and the confidence to communicate precisely with doctors, nurses, and pharmacists.
And without relying on the dictionary for every single word. No more sounding like a textbook robot for me. I need the real-life, cool English.
Exactly. But before we dive into the specific vocabulary that gets results, and before we fix your current vocabulary mess,
Yay.
please do us a huge favor. Hit like and subscribe to English Unlimited Podcast right now.
Seriously, your support is vital for us to keep creating lessons that stop these kinds of medical misunderstandings and confusion around the globe. Subscribe now. Help us prevent others from having a cranial distress incident in the future.
All right, let's unpack that initial mistake you made right there in the intro,
Okay, let's do it.
because it really illustrates the biggest hurdle for English learners when discussing health. When you called in and tried to use phrases like acute cranial distress, you were focusing on the wrong goal.
The goal was to sound knowledgeable and intelligent.
And that's a natural instinct, I get it, but
Yeah.
the actual primary goal, especially at the beginner A1 or A2 proficiency level in a medical context, is something called functional capacity.
Functional capacity. What's that?
It's a key idea, and it means two things. First, the absolute ability to report pain accurately,
Okay.
and second, the ability to comprehend and follow instructions precisely.
So if I can't clearly say I have a headache, then I've failed the functional capacity test, even if I know the word distress.
Precisely. Trying to use complicated, non-essential words creates a really serious problem. It's called lexical overload.
Lexical overload. Sounds bad.
It is. You overwhelm yourself and the listener with words that are just not necessary for the transaction.
A transaction. I never thought of it like that.
But a medical interaction is inherently transactional. It's all about exchanging key pieces of information quickly to achieve a result.
And when I get overwhelmed, I get stressed.
Bingo. And that's the other big problem. Health communication is often urgent. So if you're struggling to find the wrong, complicated words, you raise your own internal stress level.
Yeah, I felt that.
In language learning, this is known as raising the affective filter.
The affective filter. Let's talk about that. When I was trying to remember visceral turbulence, I actually forgot the word for stomach.
That's the affective filter at work. It's a psychological barrier that just shoots up when you feel anxiety or embarrassment or fear.
So it's like a wall in my brain.
It is. When your affective filter is high, your ability to access language that you already know,
Mm.
even simple core vocabulary, gets physically blocked. The part of your brain that retrieves the word stomachache just freezes because the stress is too high.
So by trying to be too smart, I actively made myself less capable of speaking clearly and effectively. I literally stressed myself into muteness.
You created a language roadblock for yourself, and this is what stops you from learning the truly essential vocabulary.
Right.
We are not training healthcare professionals here. They need the jargon. Words like dysmenorrhea or albendazole.
Okay, definitely don't know those.
Right. We just need core A1, A2 survival vocabulary that gets you immediate, clear results.
Okay, so let's build that foundation. What are the absolute must-have A1, A2 survival words?
We need to replace that confusing textbook robot English with what we call real-life cool English.
I love that.
The basics are your safety net. Headache, sore throat, fever, cold, stomachache, cough.
Just those 6.
Those 6 words should be practiced until they are automatic. If you can use these, you are already functional.
Simple, powerful phrases. Got it. Now, how do I actually describe the pain? Because that's where I always get confused.
This brings us to the golden rule of pain for English beginners.
The golden rule.
It's knowing the difference between using the suffix ache and using the verb phrase body part hurts. Mastering this makes your description so much clearer.
Wait, I thought I could just put ache after every body part. I thought leg ache, foot ache, finger ache was correct.
That is such a common grammatical trap. The rule is to reserve the suffix ache for dull, continuous, general pain areas.
Dull, continuous, general. Okay.
Yeah, typically internal ones, or areas where the pain is kind of diffuse rather than sharp.
Internal or diffuse. Okay.
Yes. Think of the 4 big general areas where the pain is usually inside. Headache, stomachache, backache, earache.
Those are the main 4?
Those are the primary 4. You might also hear toothache, but that's a bit of an exception because the pain is often internal and it can spread across the jaw.
Okay. I have a headache, I have a backache, I have a stomach ache. That covers the major general areas.
Excellent. Now, when the pain is sharp, specific, or involves, non-internal, external body parts.
Like my arm or my leg.
Exactly. You switch to the active verb phrase, body part hurts, or my body part is sore.
Give me an example of the sharp, specific pain.
You would never say, I have a leg ache.
Right.
You would say, my leg hurts,
See,
or my foot hurts, or my neck hurts.
So using the verb hurts makes the pain sound specific and immediate.
Which is exactly what a medical professional needs to hear. The distinction is functional. If it's general, use ache. If it's specific or external, use hurts.
That is a fundamental distinction I completely missed. What about the word sore? When do I use that?
That is a great follow-up question. Sore usually implies muscle pain or discomfort from, overuse, tiredness, or mild inflammation, not necessarily an injury or acute illness.
Ah, so after the gym.
Exactly. You might say, my muscles are sore after I went jogging. Or I have a sore throat, meaning it's irritated, not necessarily infected or sharp.
So if I lift weights too much, I would say my arms are sore. But if I drop a weight on my toe, I would say my toe hurts.
Yes. The intensity and the cause change the word.
You've got the nuance perfectly. Let's practice this a little more. This is really crucial for clarity. Ready? So ready. Give me a body part, and I'll give you the correct functional phrase.
Okay. Your chest.
My chest hurts.
Your tooth.
I have a toothache.
Your shoulder, after sleeping in a strange position.
Ugh. My shoulder is sore. Or, my shoulder hurts. I guess both could work, depending on the intensity.
Precise analysis. Okay, your tummy, your stomach.
I have a stomach ache.
Your knee after falling down.
My knee hurts. Definitely hurts.
That was excellent. See how simple and powerful that immediate communication is?
Yeah, I sound competent and clear, even with beginner vocabulary.
Exactly. So now that you can report what is wrong, you need to report how long it has been wrong.
Yeah.
This is the second crucial functional piece.
Communicating duration.
Using the correct grammar.
Time. This is where the dreaded present perfect lives, right?
It lives here. And it's not dreadful when you understand its function and help.
Okay, convince me.
Many learners made the mistake of using the simple present or past. They say things like, I have a cold for 2 days.
That sounds okay to me.
It's understood, sure, but the accurate structure that doctors expect uses the present perfect tense, or the present perfect continuous.
Why is that structure so important for the doctor?
Because the present perfect, using phrases like, I've had a cold for 2 days, or I've been coughing for a week, immediately shows the medical professional that the condition started in the past.
And is still continuing right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
This tells them the chronicity of the issue, which is vital for diagnosis. If you say, I had a cold, it implies the cold is finished.
So the state of being sick started in the past and is still happening now, is the functional key.
Exactly.
Mm.
And to nail the duration, you need to confidently use the functional difference between since and for.
Oh, I mix these up constantly. They both mean time.
They do, but they look at time differently. Since indicates the specific starting point of the illness.
So start.
Think of a single moment, a clock, or a fixed date. Since last night, since Monday, since the 10th of June.
So if I started feeling sick right after I woke up this morning, I'd say, I've felt sick since this morning.
Perfect. It pins the moment down precisely. Now,
Mm.
for indicates the duration, the total length of time that has passed.
The whole period.
Right. Think of a period of time. For 2 days, for about a week, for 3 months.
I see. So if I calculate the total time the symptom has persisted, I use for. If I state the specific moment it began, I use since.
You got it.
This is becoming clearer. Let me try a full medical narrative.
Go for it. Use the correct terminology for pain and duration. Tell me about a terrible flu you once had.
Okay. So it started last Sunday. I woke up and immediately said to myself, I've had a terrible headache since Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Then the fever started. By Tuesday, I realized I've had a fever for 3 days now.
Good.
Continuously since Tuesday afternoon.
Excellent.
And of course, I drank warm tea and slept a lot.
That is absolutely phenomenal communication. That functional phrasing immediately gives the doctor the exact timeline of the symptoms.
Which is the cornerstone of effective diagnosis.
Exactly. That shift from, I have a cold for 2 days to, I've had a cold for 2 days is a massive upgrade in clarity and competence.
It feels much more professional, even though the words are simple. Rest and water are key, but getting the words right is the first step to feeling better.
Okay, so now that we've mastered the basics, what hurts and how long it's hurt, we need to level up.
Level up.
We are going to move into high-stakes transactional English, where specific phrases can literally get you faster or better treatment.
Ooh, I love assertiveness. I am ready for the upgrade game.
Welcome to the upgrade game. We have 3 critical health scenarios. You and the listener have to guess the most effective functional phrase.
Okay.
These are the words that communicate urgency, politeness, and natural wellness. Scenario number 1.
Bring on the challenge.
Upgrade 1. Communicating urgency and severity. The pain scale.
Oh, this is a big one.
Critical situation. Imagine you walk into the emergency room with sudden excruciating pain. It might be abdominal, it might be a broken bone. You need immediate, serious attention.
Right.
You need to use language that bypasses the general waiting line. What do you say?
Okay. I feel terrible now. I might need to sit down, and it really, really hurts. I demand help.
Oof. That's a fail. While you express your feelings, I feel terrible is just too vague.
But I do.
A receptionist might interpret that as moderate discomfort. You need a phrase that signals clinical urgency, not just general misery.
Okay, so what is the clinical power phrase?
The power phrase, the magic word combination that immediately communicates urgency and clinical severity in nearly every Western healthcare setting is this.
Yes.
I have severe pain, 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. That little number is the absolute key.
Yes, the 1 to 10 pain scale is a universal tool. Using this scale is like a magic word that often leads to quicker care because it quantifies your subjective experience of pain into objective data for the medical team.
But what do the numbers even mean? I've never really understood. Is 7 out of 10 really that different from 8 out of 10?
That's a crucial insight. Let's break it down. 0 is no pain.
Okay, easy enough.
1 to 3 is mild pain. You can mostly ignore it, like a paper cut. 4 to 6 is moderate pain. It interferes with your life. You need to take an over-the-counter pill or stop what you're doing.
Okay, 4 to 6 is when I call in sick to work.
Exactly. Now, 7 is often the minimum threshold for serious investigation. 7 to 8 is severe pain. It is very hard to ignore. It keeps you awake. You need professional help.
And 9 or 10?
That's unbearable, debilitating, excruciating pain requiring immediate emergency attention.
So using a 9 or 10 means you are translating your suffering into a clear clinical warning sign.
You are. If you walk in and say, it hurts, they might give you a painkiller and tell you to wait.
Right.
If you walk in and say, I have severe sharp pain, a 9 out of 10, and it started suddenly, they will treat you differently. You are using the system's own language.
I love that. Let's extend the role play. This is important. You're the triage nurse. I'm the patient with sudden severe pain.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Please describe your symptoms clearly.
I have severe abdominal pain that started suddenly about an hour ago. It's on my lower right side. On a pain scale of 1 to 10, I rate this a 9 out of 10. It is unbearable.
Thank you. That is very clear. Is the pain constant, or does it come and go?
It's mostly constant, but I get sharp spikes that feel like a 10 when I try to move.
Understood. We need to get you seen by a physician immediately. Please come with me.
Wow. That exchange was so informative, assertive, and clinically effective. That phrase literally cuts the wait time.
It provides the clinical justification for urgency. That's the definition of functional language in this setting.
Yeah.
All right. Scenario number 2.
I'm ready for upgrade 2. Scheduling.
Upgrade 2. Scheduling an urgent appointment. Politely.
The checkup.
Right. So you need to call a busy doctor's office. You need to see a doctor quickly for a developing issue, like a nagging cough.
Yeah.
But it's not a 9 out of 10 emergency.
Got it.
You call the receptionist. What do you say to book the appointment effectively?
I guess I say, I want a book doctor appointment. I need to come in quickly.
That's direct, but it lacks the necessary transactional politeness. It sounds like a demand, not a request.
Oh, right. Politeness.
You want the power phrase that is both polite and transactional.
I realize that in English, politeness is often part of the transaction. So what is the professional phrase?
The power phrase incorporates courtesy and a clear statement of need. I'd like to schedule an appointment. I have a developing issue and need to see a doctor as soon as possible. Do you have any openings this week?
I'd like to schedule, that simple phrase just elevates the entire conversation. Why is that so much better than I want a book?
Using I'd like to schedule is professional and courteous. It uses the conditional, which shows respect for the receptionist's time and the clinic's availability.
And adding as soon as possible communicates the need without being rude.
Exactly. It shows necessity while remaining polite. And we should clarify the different types of appointments here.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Absolutely essential. There are 3 key types. First, the checkup.
The checkup. That's a routine visit when you're not sick, right? Just to check if everything is okay.
Perfect. Second, a follow-up. This is a second visit to check on a condition the doctor has already diagnosed. And third, the urgent appointment. This is what we are practicing now for a specific, immediate problem.
So if I call for an urgent appointment, I need to briefly state the reason why right after the polite request.
Exactly. Let's do a little role play where you handle a difficult receptionist who has limited availability.
Okay, challenge accepted.
Good morning. Thank you for calling. We are fully booked today. How can I assist you?
Good morning. I'd like to schedule an appointment with Dr. Lee. I have a persistent earache that started 5 days ago, and I need to see doctor as soon as possible.
I understand, but Dr. Lee is fully booked. We might be able to squeeze you in for a 10-minute triage call tomorrow morning.
That sounds concerning. What is the earliest time you have for a proper examination, perhaps later in the week? My earache is a 7 out of 10 on the pain scale now.
7 out of 10. I see. Let me check the cancellation list.
Okay.
Since it is urgent, I can fit you in at 4:30 p.m. today.
That is wonderful. Thank you so much for fitting me in.
See how quickly the pain scale and the polite request work together,
Yeah, I was persistent but always courteous.
which is key to navigating the administrative health system.
I feel so empowered and professional. Now for the final scenario, moving from sickness to wellness.
Upgrade 3. Speaking naturally about lifestyle, the healthy balance.
Okay.
A friend asks about your general health habits, exercise, diet, sleep. They ask, what have you been doing to stay healthy lately? You want to answer naturally, not like a textbook. What's the mistake here?
Oh, the mistake is trying to list perfect habits, I would say. I consume balanced nutritional inputs, and I participate in regular cardiovascular exertion for maximum health
Oh,
benefits.
the formal language robot has returned. While that's technically accurate, it's so unnatural and rigid.
It is, isn't it?
Native speakers use softening phrases, continuous actions, and talk about effort and moderation.
So I need to sound like a real person who sometimes eats a cookie, right? Someone who is trying but not always succeeding perfectly.
Precisely. The power phrase emphasizes effort and action. I try to eat better, I'm cutting down on sugar, and I try to sleep for 8 hours every night. It's all about balance.
I'm trying to, and I'm cutting down on. That feels so much more authentic. It implies a continuous process, not a finished goal.
It is. Natural English uses phrases like that. I'm trying to, I'm cutting down on. It communicates effort and continuous improvement.
Okay.
We can break this down into the core 3 pillars of health conversation: exercise, nutrition, and sleep.
Let's start with exercise. What specific, simple vocabulary do we need?
We need action verbs for common activities.
Mm.
Focus on jogging, swimming, dancing, or if you go to the gym, use phrases like, I use the treadmill or I lift weights.
So I can say, I'm trying to go jogging 3 times a week, or I feel great after dancing.
Excellent. And exercise is often linked to mental health. You might say, exercise helps me relax, or it helps me clear my mind.
Okay, next pillar. Nutrition. I assume this is about food groups.
Correct. You need vocabulary for food groups: fruit, vegetables, protein, complex carbs, and the concept of balance and moderation.
So I can say, I eat fruit every morning, or I try to eat more vegetables than meat.
Exactly. And we talk about what we are avoiding using those functional phrases.
Right.
That's where the natural language shines. Instead of saying, I do not eat sugar, say, I'm cutting down on sugar, or I'm trying to limit my intake of fried food. It sounds much less absolute and more relatable.
It connects back to the idea that being healthy includes being happy, and moderation is key.
Exactly. It's about a holistic approach to health. It's not just what you eat or how much you move. It's your overall state of being.
And finally, the essential third pillar, sleep.
Sleep is #1 for a healthy life. The functional language here is simple. State your goal and your current habit.
So I try to sleep for 7 or 8 hours, or I usually go to bed around 10 p.m.
Perfect. And you can also talk about the quality of sleep, like, I've been sleeping well lately, or I had a restless night.
All of this allows me to have a natural, functional conversation with a friend about wellness. Let's practice a full dialogue.
Hey, you look like you have great energy lately. What's your routine been like?
Thanks. I'm trying to make a few changes. I realized I was feeling run down, so I'm cutting down on caffeine after noon.
That's a good strategy.
And I've started trying to meditate before bed.
Nice. What about diet? Been trying to get more protein into my diet.
Oh, me too. I am focusing on making sure I have a good balance of fruit and vegetables every day. I still have dessert, but I try to keep it small.
Mm-hmm.
On the exercise side, I've been going to the gym to lift weights because I need more upper body strength.
That's impressive. I try to jog in the park every morning, but sometimes my legs get really sore the next day. It's hard to keep up the consistency.
I completely understand.
Yeah.
But the important thing is that we are both trying to make improvements, and that is what we communicate, right?
That is the feeling we want.
Hmm.
You sound natural, clear, and focused on effort.
Yeah.
But now, we must transition to the most critical area of health communication: the danger zone.
The danger zone. I thought we were finished with danger.
The danger here isn't just poor grammar or social embarrassment. It's situations where misunderstandings can be genuinely harmful.
Okay.
In health, this means misinterpreting instructions, specifically medication dosage and timing. The language here is high precision and highly formulaic. There is zero room for error.
This is serious. I've heard about people taking the wrong amount of medicine because they misunderstood simple words.
The language used by doctors and pharmacists when writing and filling a prescription is extremely precise. A small semantic error can lead to serious consequences.
Okay, give me the terms we need to know for frequency.
Okay, first, frequency. Once daily means one time in 24 hours.
Got it.
Twice daily means 2 times a day, often abbreviated as BID. This usually means morning and night, spaced roughly 12 hours apart.
Okay, twice daily, morning, night.
And 3 times a day means exactly that, spaced out evenly, usually morning, midday, and night. Abbreviated TID.
So if the instructions say take 1 tablet TID, I know that means 3 times a day.
Correct. Now let's talk about timing relative to food. This is perhaps the most critical distinction,
Why is timing relative to food so important?
because some medicines need food to be absorbed correctly, or they are very strong and will cause severe stomach upset, or even damage the lining of your stomach if taken alone.
Wow.
What the pharmacist says, with food or after meals, it means you must take the medication during or immediately after eating.
So if I take the medicine without food when it says with food, I might get very sick, or the medicine might not work as intended.
Exactly. Conversely, if the instructions say before meals or on an empty stomach, you must take it before you eat, usually 30 minutes or more, because food could interfere with the medicine's effectiveness.
This is high-stakes language. If I am confused about any of these instructions, what functional phrases should I use to ask clarifying questions?
You must feel empowered to interrupt and ask questions until you are 100% clear. Never just nod.
Okay, what do I say?
You can use simple functional phrases like, how often should I take this? Why with food?
Hmm.
Or does this mean morning, midday, and night?
Right. Be direct.
And, most importantly, you should repeat the instructions back to the pharmacist to confirm.
Oh, good idea.
So to confirm, I take 2 pills twice daily after breakfast and after dinner. This active confirmation prevents dosage errors.
That is fantastic. We are building a safety protocol into the language. Now, we have to talk about the allergy warning.
Yes, the critical importance of communicating your allergies cannot be overstated. A doctor or nurse will always ask, are you allergic to any medicine? Or do you have any known allergies?
And the functional, life-saving phrase I need to know is, I'm allergic to substance.
Exactly. Practice that phrase with the correct pronunciation. Allergic. L-U-R-gic.
Allergic, I'm allergic to penicillin, or I'm allergic to iodine.
Perfect. If you are unsure, you can say, I am sensitive to, which communicates a reaction without necessarily implying a life-threatening allergy.
I feel armed with real, functional vocabulary now. I can handle the ER, the receptionist, my friends, and the pharmacist without causing an international incident.
That is the goal. We've made it through the deep dive, covering everything from basic reporting to high-precision dosage language.
We did a lot.
We did. So now let's quickly recap the most important functional phrases we learned today, the ones that will get you results in these high-stakes health situations.
Rapid-fire recap.
For effective emergency communication, use the 1 to 10 pain scale and the word severe.
And ask, is the pain constant or intermittent?
You know the difference between a general ache, like headache, and saying the specific part hurts, like my leg hurts.
And remember sore for muscle pain.
When communicating duration, use the present perfect. I've had a cough for 2 days, or I've been sick since Monday.
When scheduling, use polite phrases like, I'd like to schedule an appointment, and add as soon as possible if it's genuinely urgent.
And remember the difference between an urgent visit and a checkup.
When talking about wellness, use natural phrases that show effort, like, I'm trying to eat better, or I'm cutting down on sugar.
And always talk about balance.
And finally, when dealing with prescriptions, no frequency terms like twice daily and timing terms like after meals.
Always repeat the instructions back to the pharmacist to confirm.
That was comprehensive. Okay, listeners, I have a challenge for you based on the principle of active learning.
This is how we build muscle memory, especially for words we need when we are stressed.
Your dare is this. Take one new phrase you learned from this deep dive. Maybe it's, I've had a persistent fever since Tuesday, or I am cutting down on fried food.
Mm-hmm.
And use the pause, right, repeat method 5 times today.
Pause the audio right now, write that new phrase in a notebook, and then repeat it out loud 5 times. Doing this uses visual, auditory, and motor memory.
Which is essential for making language accessible under pressure. Your brain is a muscle. You have to train it. Do it 5 times right now.
And if you found this deep dive valuable, remember, your functional capacity includes supporting the English Unlimited podcast.
Yes.
Please hit like and subscribe one last time. Your engagement genuinely helps other learners find this life-saving information.
I'm smart now. No more cranial distress for me. Bye.
See you next time. Stay healthy, speak clearly, and keep practicing.